Join us Friday, November 19th from 8 to midnight as Red Radio Productions South and the Cannery Bar and Grill presents a cult classic, X-Bastards. MERS. And Silent Trust's frontman, Andrew Cosmetologist, performs solo and unplugged. Also joining us will be live painters Andrew Switzer, Greg Knoll Art, C Street Art, Scattered Roots, Red Basement Publishings, and more, with only a $10 cover at the door. See you there.
Well, I'm Jenny Creel, and I got started tie-dyeing because my daughter, 17 now, but when she was 15, started working at a diner that sold tie-dye t-shirts, and she was supposed to wear a tie-dye t-shirt to work. And I said, when I went in there, I was like, I can't afford these tie-dyes, Josie. So I was like, I'll just make you some. So I did. And then that Christmas, I made Christmas presents for everybody, and I posted them on Facebook, and everybody was like, oh my God, I love these. Can I get one of these? Can I get one of these? And I said, okay. So that's pretty much how it started. And now I actually make the tie-dyes for that diner.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It came full circle. So when you first get clothing or material or whatever, you have to pre-wash it, then and dry it. And then it goes in a soda ash soak for at least 20 minutes. And then you spin that out in the washing machine, or like just on the spin cycle. And then as far as it depends, like, so for say the butterfly that I did for you, I do have a template, and I trace that out with washable marker on the material and fold it up and to where it's one straight line. And then yours was an ice dye, which is I personally like best because it gives that kind of watercolor effect. But with a liquid dye, it kind of gives more defined space, I guess. So with you place, like for ice dyes, you place the dye where you want it, and then you put ice on top of it and let it melt. And so it kind of gives this watercolory effect. If it's a liquid dye, same tying process, but you're just squirting the liquid where you want it to go.
Do you have a background in art, in any kinds of forms of art?
I was a dancer a long time ago, and when in college I took a lot of pottery classes and wood carving and stuff. So I'm really good with like my hands, but as far as drawing and painting, that's not me. I'm not so good at that. But you know, as far as working with my hands and doing that, I can be pretty creative when it comes to that. I decided to start doing markets and festivals because this is really my therapy. It makes me feel good. I like when it comes out and it looks, you know, it just makes me feel good. So it got to be a little much around the house, and you know, my husband was like, well, what are we going to do with all this stuff? And I'm like, I guess I need to start going to markets or something. So that's what we did. So I started at farmers markets, and now I'm doing little festivals here and there. And you know, with a full-time job, I can't really go buck wild with it. But
Coming up.
Okay, well, yeah, I do have a business page for Be Colorful or Dye Tying. Not dye trying, dye tying. A lot of people get that messed up. But and I have Instagram and Facebook, and I do custom orders. I love a challenge. So if anybody you know, has something they want to see, I am all about giving it a try. I can't guarantee like the drumsticks, but you know, I love to try and get something done regardless, see what I can come up with. So, but yes, you can message me through Facebook, you can message me through Instagram, and I do have a website, but I don't really check it all that often. I mean, I do get messages through it, and I will respond because I have my notifications on, but as far as keeping up with the product on that particular website, I just don't have the time for it. And I'm usually on Facebook or Instagram anyway, so it makes it a little easier. I would love to go to big festivals. I would love to make this my real, like, my career. Because honestly, what Donnie and I have been talking about is getting a RV or a camper or something and traveling around to different festivals and actually doing the bigger festivals. That would be down the road a little ways when I can actually quit my job, maybe when all the kids move out of the house. But that one's over there saying, I'm not moving. I'm going to live at home forever. And but for right now, I'm totally fine just doing our little mini markets and festivals and stuff like that. And when the time comes, I figure it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. I am at the Abita Springs Art and Farmers Market every Sunday. The only time they're ever closed is if there's a hurricane or an Easter Sunday. Every other Sunday, rain or shine, we're open. So I'm there every Sunday unless I have another event. My son got us into a EDM. I had to think of that because that's not my style. But he's friends with some promoter, and it's in Pensacola, and we're supposed to go and do that on December 18th. So it's like a little an EDM festival or something. So, which I'm a little nervous about because that's like I said, not my style of music. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's his thing.
David shut down in his doorway, begging for a resolution. Federal agents who never see another day, a handful of survivors, no retribution. Women and children all huddled around, praying it somehow ends in peace, clutching their loved ones as they burn to the ground. All of this for pressing peace.
Okay, so we are Grits and Greens. We got together in May of this year with a former bass player. We just got our new bass player, Kenny Paul Mann, here a couple months ago. So we got together in May, and the name was kind of, I really wanted to have sort of a southern feel to our name to kind of reflect what we do musically. And I kept landing on shrimp and grits just over and over again. But then I was like, I don't want to sound like a food truck. So,
Still sounds like a food truck.
yeah, it could still be a food truck. It's left a mystery now. But I kept coming on the word green, and so I was like, we'll do Grits and Greens. And it just kind of stuck because it's an alliteration and it sounded good. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it. So. Yeah, so we started out playing as a duo in 2017, shortly after we started dating. And there were a lot of the songs we were writing at the time were more singer-songwriter style. And then it kind of took a rock and roll turn, and we realized that we needed a band to really translate what we were doing.
Yeah, we were playing like the songs acoustically, and just the style of music that we were writing just really needed, a band backing it up.
Needed these guys.
Yeah. So this is why we were in Colorado, and that was a big reason why we moved back home from Colorado, is because we were up there and we were kind of isolated from this community for sure, because we weren't here, but there wasn't a whole lot of musicians there to play with. And so we really kind of wish we were back home, wish we were in a larger musical community that we could like find other people to play with.
Yeah.
So that was a huge reason why we moved back home.
Yeah. As far as like how we write songs, a lot of times when we first started out, we weren't super great at collaborating. But now we've gotten to a place where I write the lyrics and he has a melody and we put them together. Basically, so a lot of our new stuff is all collaborations just between the two of us. And
then we bring our songs to these guys, and that's where it really starts coming together, because we all contribute in things like, maybe we should add a stop here or do something like
that. We definitely discuss different studios and stuff, but Downman Sounds in New Orleans is just kind of a place for me personally that feels like home. I've recorded a lot there, and the guys that own it and run it are really fantastic people, and it's a really good vibe, and for me there wasn't any other choice, and I think these guys agree that most everything that comes out of there we love. So we're excited about that. This first time we're going to really focus on as a young band going in and just really trying to find ourselves in the studio, and if we come out of there with one really solid track, we're happy. So we're just going to spend a day this time and see how it goes, and surely a lot more right after that.
Yeah, it's planned for the spring.
Back in high school, I wanted to do really middle school and high school. So my mom, she couldn't afford the band dues and written instruments and all of that. So I was kind of bummed out. Middle school and high school, I was watching everybody else play, doing pet rallies, everybody down there drumming. I'm like, bro, I can do that. That's nothing. They ain't doing it right. They flam's not right. They grace notes not good. So I'm just critiquing everybody, and that's just because like I'm not out there playing with them, So I didn't do band middle school or high school. I didn't start getting into band until I got to college. I went to Hines Community College in Raymond, Mississippi. I was playing drum set that I was in the front on something, and that was like one of the best years of my life. And one of the most nerve-wracking years of my life, too. Because I've never played anywhere in that type of setting. I did a lot of gospel quartet performances, but as far as like with reading music, having to memorize it, and being able to punch them in note for note when you're playing in front of a big old crowd at a football game, it's a lot more pressure. But eventually I got over it. I work best under pressure anyway. So like each performance just got, better and better. And also when I got to college and I started getting drum lessons from my instructor, my musicality with drums and bass guitar and just everything else I touch is just it just advanced even more. You know, Ryan and Jesse have a rhythm. Me and Kenny bounce off their rhythm, but have me and Kenny's rhythm as the foundation. So it's like a whole little treehouse type deal.
Yeah.
You know,
Clicks together.
I'll just say that, you know, we're playing a lot in this area, in the coastal area, South Alabama, South Mississippi, because really it's the best place to play anywhere around here. It's fantastic. So keep an eye on all that. You can visit www.gritsandgreensband.com to see our full schedule. Well, you never know. Just make sure I got that right.
The Sound 228 along with Belux Bar and Grill are bringing you the Unbreakable 2 Tour. It's hitting Biloxi November 17th at Belux Bar and Grill with Kingdom Collapse. Kingdom Collapse and Varsity. Kingdom Collapse, Varsity, and making their homecoming return is Silent Trust. Kingdom Collapse, Varsity, Silent Trust with special guest Occult Classic and Blackout the Sun, November 17th at Belux Bar and Lounge, 291 Iberville Drive in Biloxi, 6 p.m. November 17th. Tickets are $10 in advance, $15 at the door. Get your tickets now at thesound228.com.
I am Jake Walker. I've been doing hair for 11 years now. I'm originally from Mendenhall. I've traveled all around Mississippi, here and there, working in Hattiesburg, Jackson, Laurel. So I always wish that I had some super compelling story of how I just always knew I wanted to do hair and all that. But actually, my mom was the first person who suggested that I go to hair school. And because it was my mom, I said, no, that's not what I wanted to do. So I went to a few other colleges, didn't work out. And then I just kind of decided to give hair school a try and ended up loving it, which was not expected. But yeah, that was probably the best decision that I could have made at the time. So the bright fashion colors are scary to a lot of people, which to me, I thought that was kind of weird because you get what you get. What you see in the bowl is what you see on the hair. But you also have a lot of creative freedom. You can blend the colors, mix the colors, create your own colors. But that all started in hair school also because, like I said, everybody else was afraid to try all the new things and the different colors. And back then there were only like 6 or 7, loud shades. But girls would bring in their blonde weave to hair school for me to go color in the back room while we were supposed to be working. For legal reasons, I did not make money on the side doing that at school. But yeah, a lot of trial and error and a lot of very willing friends and some probably not as willing as I thought they were at the time. But yeah, I was just surrounded by a lot of really creative people who kind of encouraged me to make messes and try new things. And it just kind of grew from there, and it's become something that is kind of my thing now, I guess you could say, just because there aren't a lot of people that are comfortable with doing those kind of colors. So New York Fashion Week was one of those things that I always wanted to experience. I always wanted to do it. I didn't really know a whole lot about it until a friend of mine who's a makeup artist called me one day and said, hey, we're doing Fashion Week this year. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't have much of a choice in that, but there was a hair and makeup team that had contacted him, and he had already signed me up for it before he asked me about it, which was great because I was kind of thrown into it. And it is a very, very interesting experience because you are surrounded by just super creative people. Pure chaos, but pure creative chaos. There are people everywhere, celebrities everywhere. That was nice. I made eye contact with Whoopi Goldberg. And whether or not we actually made eye contact, I'm not 100% sure on, but I made eye contact with her. And I just like to think she knows I exist. Yes, she does. But yeah, it was a very, very different atmosphere than I thought it would be. There are fashion shows on every corner, all kinds of different venues. It's not just the super weird fashion shows that you see on TV and in magazines and stuff. There are like children's fashion shows and just little small, like small businesses, small designers, just a lot of diversity and just, like I said, a lot of people. But it was a great place to make connections. I got to do 3 different seasons of Fashion Week. And hopefully next year or next season, I will be able to go again. But that is still in the works, but I will keep you posted. So when I first graduated hair school, I made a brief move to Pensacola, and I worked at a really amazing salon that was very involved with education. We were required to go to a certain amount of classes, and I got to go to 2 different Aquage master classes. And I don't know if you've ever looked into Aquage and their brand and their work, but it's really cool, and they're such a great company. A lot of natural products, just really, really pretty, but still kind of edgy and creative. But yeah, going to that first master class was kind of the eye opener for me because in that class, we are all learning the same things. We are all talked to like we're on the same level. Nobody's better than anybody else. And just the encouragement and the creativity of just being surrounded by other stylists, just wanting to better their career was kind of a boost that I needed. And that has really kept me going, ever since. Like I love going to classes. If it's just some little small class in the back of Salon Centric, that's fine too. Education is key, and I think that's something that I want to always continue, because once I stop learning and stop trying new things, I'm just going to get really bored and probably a little bit destructive. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Ultimately, I would love to move to New York. I don't think that's a 5-year plan. We'll give that 10 years. But I would love to do celebrity hairstyling. I've gotten a few chances to do that here at the casinos, which was really cool. A fun little taste of the celebrity life, aside from Whoopi Goldberg also. But at a salon that I worked at in Jackson, I was an assistant, and I got to work with Sid Curry, who was a celebrity hairstylist. And just the stories that he had to tell were just so cool. Like, he's done Whitney Houston's hair and Tina Turner. He did the Lady Gaga Bad Romance video. Just all the stories that you could ever imagine. I want that to be me one day. And again, I don't think that's a 5-year thing, but it's definitely something that I want to work towards. I don't see myself really staying in one spot forever. I really love to just go around and travel and experience new places and new people. So in 5 years, hopefully I'll be jet setting all around doing celebrity hair for award shows or Victoria's Secret runway show. The best way for people to contact me is my personal number or through Instagram. You can book online. It can be a little complicated doing that just because I like to do a thorough consultation if you are a new client. But you can also call the salon, send me smoke signals, leave a note on my car. Honestly, I'll get in touch with you somehow. We will make it work.
People say just what you wanna hear. I know the signals don't pull my leg, my dear. You've only seen just what I've let you see. You'll never see what's deep inside of me. Ain't never gonna put me in a box. You'll look at me and think she's a little unorthodox. Just one thing I need to know before I hit that door. Where do you take me? People say just what you need to hear. Is their innocence? It makes me face my fears. You've only seen just what I've let you see, and you're gonna see what's deep inside of me. Ain't never gonna put me in a box. You'll look at me and think she's a little unorthodox. Just one thing I need to know before I hit that door.
I swear, y'all have a burglar, they will not get through here.
I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, not worth
I'm
it.
a head out.